remember last season? Last season, we lost the first 2 games, blood. Man, they were saying, oh, bruv, gonna finish 10th and that. Sack Ten Hag, bro. And I was like, no, chill. Remember? However, now, bruv, this feels worse than last season to me, bro. It feels worse. The reason why it feels worse to me, yeah, is because I was watching preseason. I weren't impressed. You know the one. Obviously, I have to use my common sense when I'm looking at things and say, you know what, guys, it's only preseason. The games aren't important. They're not. I even said it. Like, obviously, we beat Arsenal. It was great to beat Arsenal because you never want to hear these man chatting shit. But ultimately,
just from a banner standpoint,
none of the games meant anything. We played loads of games. Sometimes we played 2 games in a row, like one day after the other. Twice we did it. Like, so we were cramming games in. There wasn't a lot that could be taken from it. But at the same time, you can still look for little signs. And every time we played our strongest 11, we played our worst football. We saw it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I did hear that.
Yeah, bro. When we played the second team with Sancho and Pellistri in it, we looked better. When we played the first team with Bruno and Mount, and Rashford, we looked crap. And that's exactly what we saw in this game. So, really and truly, why is it that the second team plays better than the first team? That's on the manager.
Uncomfortable conversation. So that's why, even though we played poorly, we didn't actually win the game, which obviously I'm over the moon about in regards to that. I expect us to be better against Spurs, and I expect Ten Hag to. One thing he's shown us is he adapts. He's versatile. Like, I think apart from the opening 2 games, and then I think it was later on in the season, I think only twice we lost 2 games in a row. So normally, often than not, after a bad result and a bad performance, we bounce back. And Ten Hag's still improving. He's still learning because he's not the finished article. So I expect us to be much better against Spurs, whether it's the same 11, whether he switches it, etc., etc. I expect us to do better, and that's where I have faith in Ten Hag is to turn it around. Because like you said, after the first 2 games of last season, it was all doom and gloom, and after this game, it's all doom and gloom. I'm like, it was a bad performance. That is it. Hopefully he switches there. Hopefully he realizes, Ten Hag, all right, this ain't working. Let me switch it around. And he did that last season, to his credit. Because he was trying to play out from the back and all of that type of stuff in the first 2, and then he cut that out. And it was just go more direct, be more transition. And it worked, and we had a good season, so I'm hoping that switches it around. And we could still sign players as well.
I just don't know, bro. Do you know what I mean? Man said Donny would suit the system better than a bum out. Bruv, listen, you know me, innit? Like, I keep it a buck. Last season, I was like, you know what? Give Ten Hag time, whatever. 2-0, like, he ain't got his players in and all that, but bruv. And now I feel like I've seen everything that Ten Hag's got for me, and everything these players have, and I ain't convinced. You know, like that. I'm just not convinced, bro. Like, I'll be real, because it's like he's making very stupid decisions, bro. You know what I mean? Like, the decisions are not making sense. It's not like we don't have the players. Before, I could say, you know what, Ten Hag doesn't have his players or the balance and X, Y, Z. No, bruv, the players are there now. The players are there now.
With me, I think it's both, like in regards to he didn't have the players initially, and I still don't think he has the players now, and he's going to have some misses. Like I've said before, it's all about with your signings having more hits than misses. I like the vast majority of his signings. The one I don't like is Mason Mount. I think that's a big issue, like I said before, that will have to be rectified even now within this season in terms of him not starting week in, week out, or in the summertime, which could indeed cost us. That's on the manager. But I still don't rate, even outside of Mount and everybody else, I still look at the team and go, we need so much more. In an ideal world, Rants, we even spoke about this. I know you're signing 5-6, man. Someone said, in an ideal world, how many players would you sign? How many would you sign? It's minimum 5, right? In an ideal world. Minimum 5. It might be even more. 5's half. That's half a first team. That tells you where we're at. That you're saying in an ideal world, and I
but not even necessarily, bro. Because I'll be real, If a man said to me,
go on,
like,
who would you sign?
You only have 3 signings, You only have 3 signings. I looked at this Man United squad. I close my eyes and I say, all right, cool. I've got Ahmad and Mason, for the right hand side, I've got Rashford.
And Garnacho on the left.
No, bruv, the Garnacho doesn't play for me. I got Rashford
off the bench. Not even off the bench.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, I've got Rashford and someone else off the left, the blood. Do you know what I'm saying? I potentially getting someone that can score goals. I don't count Rashford as a striker. Do you know what I mean? I'll say we got Rashford and Sancho on the left, argument's sake. Do you know what I mean? And up front, you got Hoyland and Martial. Like, say we're doing that in it. If
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing that, and then if I need to, I can use Sancho in the middle and on the right. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Rashford never plays through the middle for me. Like, it's one of them ones where Anthony has no uses for me. Like, it's just one of them ones when I look at the team. Yeah, it's like I feel like with that front six, yeah, I can get goals from them, bro. The problem is the midfield balance is not there.
yeah.
Like I think the midfield balance is the biggest problem because as much as Ericsson don't have legs, yeah. If you play Ericsson in the 10 and you just say to Ericsson, yeah, I just need you to create. If you
He can
give him
create.
if you give him the freedom that you give Bruno, because he's a much better passer of the ball than Bruno, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you give Ericsson, and he shoots better than him as well. So if
He's
you give
better.
Ericsson the freedom that Bruno has in the 10 year, for argument's sake, and you go and get another midfielder to play with Casemiro, Amrabat,
Amrabat, for example. Okay.
yeah, and then you balance the front three correctly, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, don't need a million players, bro. It's not like the players are not at the club. The style of play that we're playing, yeah, is not good enough, bro. You can't be playing Wan-Bissaka from the start. I'm sorry. Like, as much as Dallo might have defensive frailties, arguably, going forward, he's a much better player and he's better at
He is.
combining. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's players there, bro. Even if man was saying, cool, we're not gonna, even if a man said to me right now, Rants, this is your squad for the rest of the season, you can't sign no one else. You're never seeing a Bruno, Mason, Casemiro midfield with me. Never. I'll rather play McTominay in there.
That's on the manager, but here are the options we're talking about. You just said you'd rather play McTominay, which in balance I don't agree with. But we know that's not good enough for where we're trying to go. This is my overall point with these players.
It's not, but I'm saying that you can still get more out of the players that are there, bro.
No, you can still get more. Yes, and I trust him to do that because he did that last season. Because he improved pretty much near enough every single player from an individual standpoint and as a team. But like I've said before, and I say it again, these players are not good enough in my opinion. I don't think they are. Any combination we put out there, can we get better combinations to get better results overall? Yes, and improve us also. Yes, but in terms of challenging for a league, winning the league title.
No. We're not close to challenging for no league title. Do you know what I mean? Like the goal should be to close the gap on City and win another trophy. That's what the goal should be. Big up Z. We said how can scapegoat United fan or whatever? How many scapegoat United fans will find to protect Bruno and Rashford? But listen.
I didn't see those two really getting protected, to be honest. They got criticism from what I seen personally. I didn't see them. I didn't see anyone
so they should. Right?
Yeah.
Them man deserve hellfire and brimstone, blood, because them man were awful.
Bro, on the Kane thing, you know.
Bro, they deserve it, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's funny how, yeah, the only good thing about this Ten Hag situation is that a lot of these Manchester United favourites, yeah, are now getting exposed for the frauds that they are. Because a lot of these guys are the fan favorites that are dying, bro. Garnacho died yesterday. Rashford died yesterday. Bruno Amount died yesterday, bro. You know what I mean? Anthony gets criticism anyway. But these men are fan favorites, bro. Like real fan favorites. Like if you done a poll, yeah, these men are heading it, bro. Like man was saying give Garnacho the 7. Man, you know what I mean? Rashford just got a new contract and he's face of the club. Bruno Fernandes is the captain. Mason Mount's the new number 7. These guys are at the forefront of what we're supposed to be doing going forward, blood. If you're building a team around them 4 man, bro, we are in hell right now, bro. We're gonna finish 12th where Chelsea finished, blood. If that's the man you're building a team.
The crazy part is though, again, I've just used the same statement. We knew all this during preseason, and people still backed it. I said,
but Garnacho starting, I did not foresee that on the first day.
Forget Garnacho starting because I don't think he starts. I think he's only if Højlund's fit, Højlund plays and Rashford plays from the left. That just shows where Ten Hag is with everyone else. If everybody's fit, Garnacho's not playing. It's not about that. Bruno, we know about. Rashford from the left, I have no issues with. Yeah, I think he had a great season last season. But overall, it comes back to the same thing. I consistently stay on here, consistently stay on my platform. These players are not good enough. Is the manager blameless? Absolutely not. He takes blame because he signed some of these players.
Has to.
But on top, so of course he takes some of the blame. But I look at it, there's a reason he's actively still trying to sign more players. That's him saying these players I currently have are not good enough. Look how many players we are also getting rid of, got rid of, and still trying to get rid of. Because from a defensive standpoint, I'll have no issues with the team. Zero issues. You mentioned Wan-Bissaka. We know Wan-Bissaka, even though he improved, is not good enough. Dalot being the answer is a problem because neither of them are good enough. Luke Shaw is a left back. How many years has he been here? Almost a decade? Not good enough. We know this. Malassi is new. I'll give him I want to see him get a run in the first team to see if he is indeed good enough. But I would go in the ideal world, sign a right back and a left back. And 2 central midfielders, one to start and one to be back up in that as well. We
Yes,
still need,
sir.
in my opinion, another striker. Because
But we
Hoyland
need
by
a we
himself's not
need a
enough.
backup. Yeah, we need a backup because we got rid of Fred. Didn't understand that.
Then we had to get rid of Fred because Fred wasn't good enough. But go and sign a
Yeah,
go
yeah,
sign
I'm
it
gonna
on that.
agree that he wasn't good enough because at the end of the day, yeah, he was good enough to do the role that Anana's gonna do if he comes in. Be that guy off the bench that we bring in for specific games. You can use him as a squad player. Like Fred had attributes that no other midfielder had.
As a squad player, is cool.
Well, there
As a
you go.
collective
But he had
case.
attributes that no other player had. Do
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I'm
where we need
saying?
to improve.
So, and
Fair
especially
enough.
the fact that the manager wants to play this pressing football and stuff like that, yeah, then why would you get rid of our most mobile player? Like, do you know what I mean? That to me, that didn't make no sense. That made no
I think
sense.
he's
These
looking at
times,
improvement on that. Like you said, if
yeah,
the
but
Amrabat
cool.
comes in, it's cool.
But Mount wasn't an improvement on Fred.
No. But I said all this about Mason Mount. You know that we've had the conversation. There was shout out to Dave. There's literally a clip of us discussing that on one of these about the whole Mount Erickson thing. And I was here saying, this is a terrible signing. Forget him being mobile and energetic and all that type of stuff. It's an awful signing, which it is, unfortunately. And I fucks with Ten Hag. Like, that's my manager. Back him. But he's going to get things. I don't back him blindly.
I just think when you look at Eric Ten Hag right now, his talent ID, yeah, leaves a lot to be desired, bruv. You know, like that. We got Mount when we could have went and got Kudus, bruv, for the same money. You know what I'm saying? A player that can do what Mount can do, but better.
That's a mistake. The Mount thing is, I would not stand on.
That make no sense.
The only two signings I currently have issues with, 50-50 on Anthony. I said I'd give him this season. A Mount I don't like. And I'm hoping to be wrong on that. Everyone else I'm cool with. So if that's your conversion rate, I don't know. I think we signed 9. So it's like 7 out of 9. I like.
All right, cool. Let's go through Ten Hag signings because this will make
go
a good this will make a good topic. Let's go through Ten Hag signings Let's start from the back, innit? Obviously, we have to start from the back. Obviously, the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper's a hit. Do you know what I mean? I think the goalkeeper's a hit. Like, do you know what I mean? Even when I'm looking at Man United's build-up play and the way that he orchestrates from the back, once the team get used to him, because I feel like the team are not used to him. That's why you're seeing goals like him getting lobbed and stuff like that when Dalot gave the ball away. That wasn't necessarily the goalkeeper's fault. He wasn't in the goal. He's not supposed to be in the goal. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's Dalot's fault for giving the ball away there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's funny for the TikToks and stuff like that to be like, oh, yeah, he ran into the goal and stuff like that. Yeah, cool. It's hilarious, but it's not his fault. No, because your defender should not be losing the ball there. You should be, as a goalkeeper, confident enough with your defender's ability on the ball that you should be able to take that starting position. It is not your fault that you got lobbed from there, firstly. So I'd say that he's definitely brought more positive than negatives. And then we go through Lissandro Martinez is another hit in the middle.
Superb hit. That's a
that's a hit out. That's a hit out the pack. That out the park, bro. That's a hit out the park. That's a home run.
That's a diamond album. That's what that is. That's a classic.
100%. And then we go from him. We could say Cass was a club signing, but we'll say we'll give him Casemiro anyway.
We'll give him Cass. Yeah, because if we sign Cass and he doesn't, and Cass didn't perform, we would blame the manager. If you had Casemiro and Casemiro was performing terribly, that would be on Ten Hag. So therefore, we have to, club signing or not, you have to give him credit for that. Because that's on you to get the best out of a quality player like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, cool. So that's 3 hits. And all the rest of the signings are debatable. Do you know what I mean?
Debatable.
So Malacia, I like his profile.
Yeah.
But I believe that he needs to grow into the player that would make him a hit. Right now, he's still on the fence. Like, do you know what I mean? He's in the middle. He can go either way. He can be a hit or he can be a miss, depending on how this season goes.
But I wouldn't go as far to say I don't think he's quite a hit, but he's more. I put him more in the green because I look at profile I mentioned. And also the price point. Because one thing people like to do, and it's right with Anthony, is mention his price. Malacia was 12 million. Malacia at his very worst currently, right now, wherever he's at, is at worst as a squad player. He's 12 million. Because if he was 112 million, we'd be here criticizing him. Saying he was
100%. We don't criticize him because he doesn't cost a lot. He doesn't cost a lot. And also, he has the capabilities to be a good player in terms of
Yeah,
he's good enough on the ball, he's got good athleticism, he's got great
athleticism is
tenacity.
ridiculous.
He could
Yes,
turn into something, but he's not there yet.
he's not there
So
yet.
that's
I
a
say
half.
Green.
That's not a
Yeah,
miss. But I would say if I'm gonna give him a red or a green and I had to choose, I'd give him a green just because I feel like we didn't spend a lot of money on him and the raw abilities are there.
yeah. At worst,
Do you
he's
know
a
what I'm
squad
saying?
player. If we were to sign another left back and we're going into the season with a new left back and Malacia as our options, I go cool. When he
That's it.
plays, I have no issue. We're playing away at Real Madrid tomorrow. Malacia is playing. All right,
That's
I
it.
don't really have
But
an issue with that.
but ultimately he's unproven.
Green,
Then we go
yeah,
to
that's
Christian
fair.
Eriksen. Christian Eriksen's legs have gone. He can still contribute as a squad player. We
Yes,
didn't. I think we didn't spend money
free.
on
It
him.
was a free.
Yeah, we didn't spend money on him. But if I'm looking at Christian Eriksen, do I really want to have Christian Eriksen in a Premier League team in 2023? The answer is absolutely not.